give me fire, give me that which I desire.
All right, welcome back to Wind Tunnel TV and the Raid Furniture Mart Super Series. Tonight it's the AMP Grading and Demolition LLC Twin 60's here from Langley Speedway. I'm Dean Doucette. In the booth with me, Mr. TJ Bartell. TJ, we head to Langley tonight for the Twins, race 3 and 4 of this 14 race season.
Yeah, interesting night tonight here at a real bull ring. We have two twin races. This track should race a whole lot different than last week with those long straightaways and tight corners. This one's going to be all about rolling through the center of the corner.
Yes, sir, it is. As the K-T.org qualifying has just wrapped up. And unfortunately, for our people over on YouTube, I've got to let you know there is some kind of green problem. We're experiencing this difficulty on YouTube only. Don't know why. Please go over to Facebook and find us on Wind Tunnel TV 2022. It's clear there. We cannot find the source of this issue, although we continue to search. And we'll get it rectified. Really quite baffling at this point, and we apologize for that. But qualifying just wrapping up here, a little meeting going on, and I'm sure TJ, when they come down to it, as we look in on our race info, they're probably talking a little bit about, you know, let's have a good clean race here. Twins, we guys can get a little anxious on these shorter races.
Yeah, you're exactly right on that. Really short track, really tight corners. You know, there's a lot of chance for some bent sheet metal here. So I think these guys want to get some green flag racing in because that's the only time you can pass. You can't make any passes under the yellow. So the more green flag racing these guys got, the more opportunities they got to move forward.
And you see here in their race info, this shape of this track, almost a circle, TJ. I mean, really, there is no straightaway here. We're looking on our keys to the race to control, pitting, and strategy. We've had those for a while here because, you know, they're just so important. These guys, the pitting in the Twins, I don't know how important it's going to be, but we have seen it come into play where someone would get tires, you know, in that second race. It seems to produce a little more of the cautions, a little more aggression, and they come in and get those tires and come through the field. It can still play a big role.
Yeah, absolutely. With these tight corners and no real straightaways, there's a lot of stress on the tires, and it's easy to overdrive these cars and put extra wear on the tires. So, you know, making a right call and getting fresh tires could pay dividends. But you know, the ideal thing here, these guys don't want to have to come to pit road, and they want to race this thing green and see what they can do.
See all of our cars currently on pit road, waiting for the end of qualifying and the new session to kick over. As we wait in anticipation, I can tell you, Colin J. Kennedy going to be on the pole tonight. And Colin, we've seen this from him. You know, when he's on the pole, that means he's got speed. He's going to run up front. The big question, TJ, can his luck, you know, turn around? I mean, he did get a win last year, but often, you know, has some bad luck there when he's at the front.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing about racing. You can have a super fast car, you can have a really great feel for the track, but if you don't at least have some luck on your side, it's really hard to win a race. And he's got one big advantage here starting on the pole. That track position, I think, here tonight is going to be super important.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Oh, and someone blown an engine on pit road. Try and get a look in on who that might have been. That could be Chris Shannon, if I'm not mistaken. I think I just heard another one go. TJ, are we having blown engines here on pit road?
Well, I can tell you that if you're sitting there with the car idling with no air coming through that radiator. It does not take long and they will blow up.
That was some crazy stuff right there. I think they'll get a new car as the session clicks over, but I was a little scared there. You'd hate to see your race done on pit road just revving the engine up.
Yeah, that would have to be a horrible feeling. You're sitting on pit road and all of a sudden, bang! That's gotta sink your heart.
All right, let's get into tonight's starting order. It's Colin J. Kennedy on the pole here this evening. Austin Miller will start on the outside of row number 1. You got Walker Cole and Adam Cole taking up row 2. In row 3, it's Chris Shannon and last week's winner, Adam Newton. Then you've got Jeff Werderman in row 4 along with Andrew Perry. It's Bruce Pearson and Clanman in rounding out our top 10. In our bottom 10, you got Alonzo King Jr. He was fast last week in his debut, I believe, and we're going to see if he can continue with that kind of speed or not. Brian Cole, past champion here, rocking a new paint job, something a little familiar to you, TJ, at least color-wise there.
Yeah, absolutely. I recognize that scheme from a long way off.
You got Fred Lester, Barry Hines, Termeyer and Taylor, Burris and Rowell, Anders, Mark Hanna, and Tyler Lem, the spaceman, are riding around at the back. That's a little reference there to the old Moonlander there, if you didn't recognize that, the old Lem. So up front, ready to go racing here, and Kennedy looking out here. He's going to be in tough against Miller. Miller likes to go to the front. We'll see what he can do.
Yeah, he's going to have his work cut out for him holding on to that lead with the 42 car on the outside, because we know how good he is.
TJ, hate to do it on live, but if you go to YouTube and just type in a couple of responses there for us as we get green here, Colin J. Kennedy waiting, holding, a good jump by Miller on the outside, but still not able to get that position. Walker Cole threatening down on the inside. He's going to take it away from Miller. Shannon also down there grinding. Miller hung out on that high side. He's got to get a position in here. He's trying desperately, but way down low. Shannon continuing to fight and steal that spot. He does, in fact, get in there. So Shannon into third, Miller into fourth, Adam Cole in fifth, Werderman in fifth, last week's winner. That's Adam Newton back in sixth place. Perry in seventh, Bruce Pearson, and Alonzo King trying to make a move as he jumps down on the inside of Bruce Pearson. King in the number 80 makes a quick work of it. He's marching through the field quite quickly. Oh, and King has that quickness, and he wipes out. As we're on him, he just loops it, so all that work goes out the window. King going around. Wow. Looks like he wasn't the only one, as we had Ryan Andrews as well having some problems. We got to look at Andrews here. You see Andrews, same thing. King, same thing. Taylor, same thing. All at the same time. Different spots on the track, nothing to do with each other, all doing the exact same thing.
That's very strange to have the same thing happen to different guys on the same lap, at the same time, basically. That's crazy.
That was quite crazy and unbelievable almost to have the three guys, three different parts of the track doing the same exact thing. Super interesting. And again, for those over on YouTube, we really apologize for this green screen. It's a problem that we're having through YouTube. Have no idea what's causing it. We've tried some things. They're not working. They're not fixing it. Please head over to Facebook if you're able to, and you can find us on Wind Tunnel TV 2022. And the stream is up, and it is fine using all the same stuff. So no idea what's going on with Facebook, and we continue to work on that, but are not too confident it'll be fixed tonight.
Yeah, I tried to leave a comment on YouTube. It won't even let me leave a comment to try and tell everybody to come over to Facebook, but it's clear on Facebook anyway.
All right, 10-4 on that, and we do have a comment up there, and hopefully those guys are able. Some people not on Facebook, don't blame me for that, but unfortunately, that's the only clear broadcast tonight. Otherwise, I don't know, maybe you put on some blue shades, and maybe that'll counter it. Little joke there, probably not a good one.
Might be worth a try, though.
You know, try something, but that's annoying, and I do apologize, but what are you going to do? Kennedy, Walker Cole, Shannon, and Miller. Kennedy down and away. Another good launch. Walker did a nice job filing right into second. Shannon underneath Miller. Status quo up front. Big battles back here, though. The 22 of Bruce Pearson looking underneath Andrew Perry. Right in front of him, Newton going around Werderman. Here comes the 10. That's Brian Cole in that what I would looks like the STB colors, but I'm not sure what that sponsor is, TJ.
Yeah, he was really fast in practice too. I kind of was surprised that he qualified as far back as he did, but he's got a very good car.
Yeah, well, Brian, past champion, no slouch by any means, and he's got Marvin Termeyer right behind him as Jeff Wernerman's blinking out. That could be problematic. I have to keep an eye on that, but Termeyer slides through as well, so these guys all doing a great job. Up front, still Kennedy, Walker Cole right behind him, Shannon in third as these guys are riding nose to tail. I mean, you couldn't put a paper between Miller and Shannon right now.
Shannon's doing a good job, but he's getting pressure now.
Shannon underneath Walker. Walker's going to get freight trained, at least by the two of them. So Walker falls to the back of this pack, and you cannot leave that bottom, TJ.
No, it just shows you how important gluing your car to the bottom is. If you get kicked up out of there, you're going to lose at least a couple spots.
And Shannon left an inch, and Miller said, "That's enough. I'll take it." Up to second he goes.
Kennedy has to be loving those guys racing so hard behind him. It's given him a safe little gap there that, he can run his race, and he's hoping they keep doing that.
Adam Cole and Adam Newton caught up to the back of this group. Shannon now makes a move back on Miller. So these guys swapping positions. You cannot leave the bottom, apparently, at all. Miller looks again to try and get that angle. He has it. This is kind of... Ooh, that's tough there. Almost contact. Shannon trying to power off. Can't do it. My goodness, this is going to be some hard racing. They're clicking off quick. We're on lap 17 to 60.
Yeah, it just shows you if you drive in a little too hard and your car pushes up the racetrack off the bottom at all, that guy's just looking for that gap, and they shoot it every time.
You see Newton spinning there. Adam Newton falling back. Oh, and Hannah... And it looks like the 22, that's Pearson, I believe. That's going to cause some carnage. The 48. Oh, and the 48 just taking the 5 for a ride. Wow.
At least he flipped him over. That's the only good thing came out of that.
Maybe he was trying to help him. I'm not sure there.
It'd have been a wild ride for Adam Newton there.
It's like, get me off of this ride. Let's get a look at the chaos here ensued. And this all started with a simple little tap. Looks like Hannah riding around behind here, Bruce Pearson. And Pearson checks up a little bit. We head in the corner. Oh, and it's Newton. Newton is still slow. That drives Hannah up the track. He gets into Pearson. And then other carnage in front of them. We're going to go back a bit, and you can see there the 48 of Lester gets underneath Newton and just starts pushing him, and actually it probably did help him flip over at least. But my goodness, that was all a product. Actually, we didn't really catch it on the replay there. That was a product of Adam Newton something happened with him getting loose or whatever, and he got down there and was entering on that low line, caught Hannah off guard. He had to kind of jump up a lane, and you know how these corners come up. It's one after another after another. They sneak up on you so fast trying to make that adjustment. He just barely touched Pearson and sent him around a little bit.
Yeah, that was definitely an accordion effect thing from the 5, getting the car back under him and being on the low line, and guys just not being used to, or not thinking they were going to have to go on the high side there, and that just caused a big problem.
Under caution here.
And that started with the 10 kind of getting into the back of the 5 a little bit, and that's what messed up Adam Newton's corner there, and that's what made him come back on the track at slow speed.
Again, we're just trying to apologize to the guys on YouTube. Don't know why this green. We're working on it. Been working on it. Can't seem to fix it at this point, but we'll find the source of this somehow, some way, and we'll get it fixed. I don't think we'll get that done tonight, however. So go over to Facebook, Wind Tunnel TV 2022. Right now it's Miller and Kennedy out front, and same as it's been. Really only a couple of pit stops. Lester and Newton at the back of the pack. Shannon and Walker Cole in 3rd and 4th. It's Chermeyer up 11 spots on the evening. Marvin marching here, owing checkups and contact prior to the start. I seen Adam Cole get into Shannon. Someone got into Cole. A little bumpity bump there, and we're off and racing.
A little bit of anticipation on that start caused that.
Yeah, you try and get a little bit of a jump here, and this is the type of track it is, boy. Everything happening so fast. It's just these things happen all night long. Miller looking to get that edge in there, stick that nose in one more time. Oh, and he's got him. He's taken out our leader. We continue under green. Kennedy saves it for 3rd, but now it's Walker Cole trying to get underneath Chris Shannon for the lead. Caution does get thrown, as that was a little crazy there, and there could be some ramifications from that. Think Miller maybe being sent to the back at this caution, or Shannon, or I'm not sure who did what at this point. Let's get a look at it, TJ.
Yeah, that incident was very similar to what happened to Adam Newton on the last yellow.
So we're going to see Werderman here come through. Nothing really happening to him. Let's go back. And we'll get up to where Miller and Kennedy are. And you can see here, we're coming down to entrance, under braking. Miller just bam, there it is. It didn't take much, a little shot. Great job from Kennedy, but maybe a flag, TJ. Looked like he might have got under that cone. That could be a penalty. Not sure if they'll, take that penalty off his record there, maybe. Clear the penalty, I guess is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, because that was really no fault of his own that he got down inside that cone. So we'll see if they clear that for him. It looks like Bruce Pearson got a free pass on that caution.
All right, looks like a few of our guys have moved on over to Facebook. Glad to have you guys. Better screen here. NC Bullfrog says definitely better. I didn't give the okay on Walker's new number, says Johnny. And anyway, we thank you all. Mason in here, thank you very much for following us over to Facebook. Sorry about the YouTube issues. No idea what's going on there. The odd anomaly. We're working on it.
Well, we're halfway through this first twin race, Dean.
It doesn't take long, TJ, and I'm already sweating. I don't know if it's because of the racing or because of that damn green screen, but I'm working up a little lather here.
A combination of both, I bet.
I bet it is. Shannon, no slouch here, the 32. You know, we've seen this from him. We've seen great speed out of him in the past. He's won races. This guy can get up here and race. And whoever called out the number change, you're right. I'm not sure that number change from, what was it, the 01 to the 20 here for Walker. I don't know if that's been approved or not. But the Chick-fil-A machine looking good again here tonight. And of course, Kennedy. And how about Termeyer? TJ, 12 spots he's picked up so far.
Yeah, he is steadily moving his way forward, all the way up to 4th now.
You know, I'm not going to say any more than that because we don't want to do anything to him. Let's just see how the 16 does the rest of the way. Cole and Clayman in 5th and 6th. We're green. Shannon, decent jump. Walker files right in behind him. Kennedy into 3rd. Termeyer doing a nice job. And we're under yellow. And we got some more carnage back here, and the 48 giving someone else a ride. He's not too happy with stop cars, TJ. He's gonna move them out of the way.
Yeah, he's had quite an eventful night already with cars being stopped in front of him.
All right, let's see what happened here. You see here, you get the 45 up ahead. Nothing going on. Everything looks all right here. Oh, and the 45 into, I'm not sure who that was there. That's
Ryan Andrews.
Ryan Andrews. Sorry, Ryan. Ryan, fairly new to the series, so I'll get to know you, Ryan. And take another look at it here and just kind of see what happened. You see, Hannah's down low here, nothing to it. And Andrews just kind of comes down, and it maybe expects him to check up or what. I'm not too sure there. Maybe come in a little too slow. Hard to decide what exactly happened there. And that ain't our job anyway, TJ.
No, it's not a job. It looked like the 74 looked, you know, he took just a little bit bigger arc in the corner, and it could be he was in Hannah's blind spot where, you know, Hannah was going to enter the corner and then didn't see him until it was too late.
See Lester coming off of pit road here. As we look in on pit stops, Werderman has made a pit stop on lap 28. You had Lester on 33, Pearson on 24, and Newton on 18. Those are your only pit stops here. We don't really expect any with a 60 lap twin races invert the field after, so guys aren't too concerned about tires. 25 to go in this first race, and you know, a lot going on between this and the darn YouTube thing. You haven't been focused too much, at least I haven't, on what's really going on here. Shannon, Cole, and Kennedy, who was leading this thing. How much is Kennedy ticked off? This has happened to him all the time when he leads. This happens to him, TJ. I mean, from someone who hasn't had the best of luck, I know some of your trials you've been through. How ticked off does he get, and how much does he want to get back up here and win this thing?
Well, that's just it. I mean, he was doing everything right there, and he didn't get as good a restart on that last one. And the 42, I think it was 42, was able to kind of get underneath him there, and when he did, there was a little bit of contact that sent him around. But you know, it's got to be very, very disappointing to be controlling the first part of this race and then find yourself in the back.
It is. We've seen it from Kennedy, in particular from the lead. This has happened to him several times, and I know he's getting tired of it. I'm not laying blame on anybody for anything, but it does wear on the mind. Shannon, great start. Walker, pretty good on the outside as well. So status quo up front again. We look back. Miller's going around. Contact there on entry. We got more people around. The 17. Miller takes another ride through the grass. And we're off to Never Never Land right now, TJ.
Yeah, that looked like different breaking points there, and the 17 got in the back of the 42, and it just caused a melee behind him.
Let's get a look. You see Clam down here in the inside lane. The 42 gets squiggly and then tries to get in from the high side, and it just looked to me like probably you know, Miller getting a little loose on the restart there kind of threw all of his timing off. I'm not sure whether it be his fault or not, but, you know, I guess Clayman could have gone a little lower. But tough track, and tough things are happening here.
Yeah, and Austin Miller was up in the front of this race for the first part there, and there's a lot of different. It's a lot different racing back in the pack, especially on a short track like these guys are racing, as versus being up towards the front in the top 1, 2, 3 spots. It's a lot harder, and there's a lot more going on when you're back in the pack.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I don't want to lay any kind of talent calls out or anything like that, but generally speaking, TJ, when you're up at the front and you're racing one way around, say, the front two guys, and these are some of the best drivers in the room, and then you go to the back and say 20th position and you're riding around some of them and you're trying the same moves, it's going to be a little. You're going to have some different reactions from people than you are from maybe the guys that you're used to racing around.
Absolutely. You get to learn how the tendencies are and breaking points, turning points of guys you race around a lot. And if you get back in a different part of the field and you're racing with guys that you're not used to being around, they may have different turn-in and breaking points. So it's definitely something that's a challenge when you get back in the pack and you're not used to it.
And Johnny over on Facebook saying he remembers this league going whole races with less than 4 cautions. They still do, Johnny. Tough track tonight. I mean, this one, there's virtually no straightaway, and the different braking points. If you can get through 5 or 10 laps, you're likely to continue to race under green for long periods of time. But it's those first laps when everybody's bunched up, those different braking points, man, it's just really, really tough.
And you can see how critically important it is to keep your car as low in the corner as possible and not give any bit of an opening to the guy behind you. So it's definitely a challenge, and we see every time somebody overshoots the corner a little bit or slips up in the middle that somebody's waiting for that gap to open up.
Well, TJ, I was waiting for him to get lined up, but they went single file restart on me there to try and avoid some of this carnage. And it seems to have worked. Maybe a good call there from the admin. Shannon, Cole, Kennedy, and Termeyer in 4th place, up 12 spots. Adam Cole in 5th. Brian Cole up to 6th. He's up 6 spots. Perry in 7th. Jeff Taylor's up 7 into 8th. And Wade Burris coming up 8 spots, along with Roels, who's up 9. Back up front, Shannon opening it up. Walker Cole chasing. Kennedy trying to make moves.
Yeah, this might be one of the bigger leads that we've seen all night.
Yeah, it definitely is. You see this pack here, but Shannon walking away, and Shannon way down on the apron. TJ, let's head on board with Shannon. Kind of see what he's doing here as he gets through this track.
Yeah, you can see how critically important it is for him to keep his car as low as he possibly can. And he's probably using that apron with a little bit different banging than on the racing surface itself to get that car to turn better.
He didn't look as low there, but you see him here in the corner getting right up on the banking. My goodness.
Yeah, I noticed he's going a lot lower in 1 and 2 than he is in 3 and 4 generally.
Generally speaking, definitely. We take a look at Walker Cole's car here and see how he's driving. And I imagine, he's starting to follow. He's even going deeper down on the apron now. Walker's picking up on this if he didn't already have it in his toolbox there. And now he's all over that apron.
Yeah, he's even running really low in 3 and 4, I'm noticing here.
We're looking Kennedy, everybody doing it at this point, probably always were, but I just noticed Shannon particularly low to me. But now all these guys up on the apron. The fight rages on up here.
And you can see by those in-car shots how much wheel they have to put in to get that car turned.
And how much focus they need, TJ. Like, I need to get focused. We're on 8 to go here. 8 to go in race 1 of this AMP Grading and Demolition LLC Twin 60's race. We will invert the field after this, so last will become first, first will become last. But right now, Chris Shannon walking away.
Yeah, and it shows you when we got some green flag racing here how quickly these laps just fly by.
And You see Newton back there. So Newton back in 21st place, maybe looking to start race number 2 from the pole. Anyway, Shannon up there. There's Walker and the crew all fighting.
Yeah, from 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th here, it's a heck of a battle.
5 to go. We take a little look beyond this group. You got Taylor. There's Burris. And Miller stuck back here in 10th. That's somewhere you don't want to be. End in the middle, start in the middle. That's not going to be good. You got King Jr. back here trying to battle back. He's around Roel, along with Barry Hines is back here. But back up to the up front, Shannon underneath Newton. He lets him go. Battle for 2nd, still raging on. These guys are getting so low, TJ. I'm getting alerts that they're all pitting.
Yeah, they are really, really using up that apron on both ends of the speedway now.
Colin J. Kennedy with a power move gets around Walker. Termeyer trying to do it as well. Here comes Brian Cole trying to go underneath Walker. Cole. Termeyer gets underneath Kennedy. Termeyer trying to go all the way from 16th position to the 1st. He's in 2nd now. Termeyer doing one hell of a job. Final lap, Chris Shannon out here winning though. Chris Shannon going to come through here and take victory in the first twin race here at Langley. It's Termeyer, Brian Cole, and Adam Cole coming from the back of that pack to the front of it. Kennedy slides to 5th, Walker Cole in 6th. Adam Perry in the number 33 will take home 7th. It's Taylor, Miller, and Alonzo King Jr. are going to be your top 10, and we're quickly resetting for twin number 2.
We saw some exciting racing there, and some guys making some awesome moves to gain spots. And once you got shoved up out of that groove, boy, it was tough sledding up on that upper groove.
So these guys taking a minute here to get warmed up. There's a 30-second warm-up or a couple of minute warm-up. I'm not sure. Looks like we got about a minute and a half here, TJ. And that race, I mean, really, Chris Shannon, just quite dominant out there. He looked awesome.
Yeah, he was fast when he was, running 2nd and 3rd. You could tell he had a good car. And once he got the clean air and got the lead and, controlled that restart, he mastered it perfectly and kept his car going, really well through the corners. He didn't give those guys any opportunity to catch him.
So once again, for anybody who did appear on YouTube, please go over to Facebook. Experiencing some serious difficulties over there with this green screen stuff. And we just don't know what's going on with that. So we'll try and get that worked out at some point.
Yeah, our top finishers, did a really good job in this first first race here. It's going to be interesting to see what their plan of attack for the second race is going to be, starting from the tail end of the field. They've got a long way to go to get to the front.
You see there, Adam Cole out here doing a little practice, running one of our sponsorships, the K-T.org qualifying car. So Adam looking for a good finish in race number 2. Wade Burris comes out and takes a couple of laps as well out of Yorkville, Ohio.
Yeah, I think you see some guys out there doing some laps just to kind of keep that feel up so you don't kind of lose it if you sit waiting too long before you grid up for the next one.
Yeah, and I like that. Keep it fresh. Rhythm's everything at a track like this. Why not get out there? But we invert the field, so last becomes first, and it's last week's winner, Mr. Adam Newton, sitting on the pole for race 2. Lester on the outside of row number 1. It's Hines and Claman in row 2. Andrews and Lem in row 3. You got Werderman and Hannah. Pearson and Roel in your top 10. Then you got Burris, King, Miller, Taylor, Perry, Walker Cole, Colin J. Kennedy, Adam Cole, Brian Cole. It's a Cole fest back there. And Termeyer, and then Chris Shannon bringing up the rear.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting because a lot of these guys that were really fast in our first race are really mired back there. So they've got a lot of work to do to get to the front of this thing. And how much will this have an effect with Adam Newton and the 48 car of Fred Lester having, being up here in the front, having clean air per se? Wonder what difference that'll make for their cars.
Yeah, it's a great point. I mean, I gotta think, like, I don't like to use the term sandbagging, TJ, but if you're at the back and you're the likes of Adam Newton, I think he kind of were. He was looking for this. It's a strategy. It's not really sandbagging, but I think the clean air will help him, and just the fact that he's up front is going to help him. He's going to be tough to beat from up here.
Yeah, we saw him when he got the lead last week. He was tough. He nailed all the restarts, and he was a tough competitor. So we'll see if he can repeat that here, starting from the pole.
We're going green here. You see the pace truck come off. We hit on the nose of Mr. Werdeman's car. Down and away they go. Down into one. Everything looking pretty good. Newton pulling it out. You got Lester Hines clamming. Oh, Lem's up near the wall and fading. They're 4 and 5 wide back here. What in tarnation is going on? How do they do this at Langley?
I didn't think it was possible.
Wow, big checkup. People are wrecking. We got a couple of little contacts. No actual wrecking. Survival. I hear tires squealing. Something else going. They're piling up. All kinds of carnage.
It's the big one at Langley.
The big one at Langley. Unbelievable. We had a lot going on there. Some hard racing. You put fast cars at the back. This happens. Let's get a look in and see exactly what went on here. You see, here is one. This is Ryan Andrews. He's got Werdeman underneath him. Here comes Oh, and Pearson gets a piece of him. Meanwhile, you got Miller. Oh, and we can back that up a little bit. Something happened in front of Miller. He kind of let out or got on the brake or something. He was loose. It could have been a separate incident. I'm not sure.
It looked like the 74 may have gotten into the 45 and spun him around sideways, and it was on from there.
A hard time getting a good visual of what happened up front there. But yeah, you see there, 45. Oh, massive carnage. And I think you're saying that was the 74 perhaps. Let's get one more look here and see. Yeah,
there was a lot going on that
There was
lap.
a lot going on. It was a 98. So the 98 was involved here. That's Wade Burris coming underneath the 45 Hannah. Just no real room there. He just gives him a shot. Bam, the 80's in there, and everybody's in there.
There's a lot of bent sheet metal after that one. That was big.
That was big, and while all that happened, it looks like Newton fell to 5th. I'm not sure what happened there, TJ. Was that part of the carnage here?
Oh, they had to stop because the track was blocked, and I don't know, with scoring the way it works sometimes in iRacing, I don't know what happened, but they had to stop there because the track was blocked with all that carnage.
Very strange set of circumstances has put Newton back to 3rd. They might be bringing him back to the front. I'm not sure. Sure, he's a little upset about that, and it looks like he is driving through some cars here, and I think this might take a couple laps to sort out. Yes, they're going to put Newton back up front, so he's back where he belongs, and definitely, I think it is exactly what you described is just a little little scoring problem there through all the carnage and the pace car. It's such a small track, TJ. Pace truck comes around so quickly.
Yeah, it really does, and it can really screw up iRacing's scoring as far as what they consider it. So it's nice to see the admins getting this straightened back out the way it should be.
Yeah, it's one thing I love about Termeyer Jr. And the group here is they're going to get it right. We'll be damned about doing it on the proper lap or whatever. Let's get it right instead of just allowing races to be won and lost that don't deserve to be. And you can see wave rounds being given. People trying to get back into their proper racing spots as Miller goes by. Look like Ryan Andrews maybe going by, yes. So those guys are gonna get a lap back and get back in line.
Yeah, it's nice to see Marvin do that and get this thing straight. And like you said, get it right, because those guys shouldn't be penalized for something that's a scoring error, through iRacing because of the way the caution and the pace car came out.
Yeah, most definitely. Adam Newton on the pole, Lester in second, Clammin and Werderman second and or third and fourth, Pearson and Cole, Burris, Roel, Taylor, and Adam Cole, your top 10. Brian Cole back in 11th with Marvin Termeyer in 12th. And we've seen what Marvin was doing in race number 1. We'll see if he can do it again here.
Yeah, he just kind of methodically picked his way through in race 1. We'll see if he can do that again.
All right, Adam Newton, your race leader, winner last week. Good start, but Lester, really good start on the outside. Unfortunately, that won't work here. He'll slide into second. Clammin back in third. Then it's Walker Cole underneath Waterman. Walker already up 12 spots during this race. The 20 Chick-fil-A machine is on the rampage here.
He had a fast car the first race, so this doesn't surprise me. He's got quite a bit of laps left to get further forward, so we'll see what kind of progress he makes here.
Yeah, it looks like he's got some speed here, especially under braking. Looks like he's braking a little deeper than the 17 and a little smoother as the 17 breaks loose slightly there. Walker all over him. We'll stay with this battle for a minute and see what he does. You see him right up to the bumper, a little checkup. That'll take him another couple laps to gather that back up. Behind him, you see back here, you got Jeff Taylor. He's got the 10 of Brian Cole right behind him.
Yeah, Brian Cole is doing a pretty good job from where he started, working his way forward even with some damage.
Cole checking up several times there as Taylor works his way underneath Pearson. Pearson now going to be stuck on the high side, and we're under yellow. More carnage on the track. And we got Termeyer's involved. Oh boy. Marvin getting in there. You see Hannah coming off the wall. The 80's involved. Let's get a look in on it.
Yeah, King has had a rough night.
Marvin underneath of Mark Hannah. Come into the corner. Hannah's down there. Everything's good. Mid corner just pokes up a little bit. Gets into him. The 80 into him after that. And it's on.
Yeah, it looked like he kind of hit that bump where you go from the apron onto the speedway, and it just pushed his car right up into Turnmeyer's.
Bring up the old pit board. Colin J. Kennedy hits pit road. I don't know if that was just a drive-through or what. That was not much of a pit stop there. It's kind of like Alonzo King had a 0.1 stop, TJ. I'm not sure what you can get done in that kind of time.
Yeah, that's not really any kind of a pit stop at all, so I kind of wonder what that deal was.
We've seen a few of these. I don't know if that's just a misregistering, seeing how low these guys are going on the track. It might register them on pit road, but Colin does come back in. So Colin is committed to this strategy, and he's backing up. He is in victory lane. I'm not sure where he is right now, TJ.
It looks like he shot his pit stall by quite a bit and had to back up a pretty good distance.
Well, it does look like victory lane there he's in. It's got like the checkerboard there. I'm not sure. It is a pit stall, obviously. He's getting service and tires. I think he's going to go a lap down, TJ. We see there they've gone around him. So Colin J. Kennedy will, in fact, go a lap down. Wow, what a costly maneuver.
Yeah, in this short of a track, I don't think it's possible to take 4 tires and not lose a lap. And as we see, it looks like he did lose the lap for sure.
Johnny says that Lester's got the Hellcat going tonight. Let's get a look in on Mr. Lester. He's up in second position, doing a nice job here in race number 2. Indeed, a sharp-looking vehicle, sharp-looking paint there.
It is, and I've noticed he's actually been one of the guys that can keep more speed stuck on the outside than a lot of guys tonight, so it's not as much of a detriment to him being stuck up there as some other cars we've seen.
Yeah, he gets in good. It's just that you can't complete any kind of pass out there. That's been obvious. But yeah, you've got, go ahead.
Go ahead, Dean.
So we're going to just do a little rundown. Newton, Lester, Clamman, Werderman, Walker Cole, who's up 11 spots, Pearson, Taylor's up 7, Brian Cole up 10, Burris, Adam Cole, and then Austin Miller.
Yeah, it looks like for the most part the Coles are working their way forward here.
They always do. Tough group there. They got the Bullfrog out there rooting them on too and checking them out. And they're doing a good job, always do, making Pops proud there. And Brian, of course, the leader of that group, but the man to take the new throne may be Walker. He's looking to take it week after week. Right now, it's Newton, though. Newton down and away. Lester spins him, and he's going to take someone out with him. That's Clanman, I think. Clanman with heavy damage. We stay under green flag action. Clanman won't like that. He is beat up at the back. You see back here is Shannon doing nothing. He's just taking it easy. Yellow does come out. We've got more damage and more carnage. That's Alan Roel. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know what happened on that start. That lap, it was kind of weird.
Very weird, no doubt about it. We'll get back to Clamman. Let's see what happened to the 94 of Roel. You see him coming down here into the corner, and he just loses it. That's easy to do on that high side. Bam! Termeyer with a heavy lick. Wow. So we'll see now if we can get to Clamman and see what happened to him. Not sure if this is it or not, but we'll get a look at it here. Right on the restart, I believe. On the second here on the restart, on the inside. And he just doesn't go. And then in front of him, Lester spins him from the high side, comes down. He's got to check up. A little contact puts him down into the inside wall. So nothing of his doing there. That's unfortunate for Clamman.
Yeah, he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time there.
So pit stops happening here. Termeyer crab walking his way down pit road. Clamman's all beat up. These guys hopefully have a fast repair in their pocket here. Get that, and yes, you can see there that all fixed up and pretty and ready to go.
Fresh car, go back after it.
I like it. Best crew I ever seen. Fixed the whole darn car in under a second.
Need that crew for my group.
Yeah, I could use it just about every 10th lap. You see the Honeyman, Mark Hanna getting a wave around. Mark not having a great race here this evening. Having a few incidents out there, but the 45 will rebound. Do love that car though. Got the Honey Farm on there and Mr. Automotive down the side. So proud sponsors he's running there.
Absolutely, and he's got a long way to go, so he's not out of this thing yet.
Never out. Never out in a super late model race, especially at Langley. Anything can happen. I think we've seen that already. And even Newton's not safe. We've seen what happened to Colin J. Kennedy in race number 1. He led a lot of it, and he got removed from that position at one point. So Newton's got to be nervous, but we also know he came in here with a plan, TJ, and I think he's executing that plan so far.
Yeah, I would say so. You know, he's right where he needs to be. Last week he showed us that he is very good at these restarts. So, you know, if he can keep doing what he's doing here, you know, he may pull off 2 in a row.
Yeah, I mean, would this be considered 2 in a row? I'm not sure. I guess it would, eh?
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the first race.
I threw a little Canadian A in there on you.
I like that. That was awesome.
So Newton and Lester, Werderman, Walker, Cole, Pearson, and Taylor, your top 6. And they get ready to go back green flag racing.
Green flag, green flag.
Newton, another good drive off. This time Werderman pulls on through by Lesterman. So the 81, Jeff Werderman, hasn't heard his name called in a while. Werderman making his return and looking strong, trying to run down, now in second. Walker Cole moves into third position as Lester falls to fourth.
Yeah, keep your eye on that red 20 car. I would not be surprised if he's challenging.
And we got more carnage back here, TJ. All kinds of people involved, not sure what happened. Get another look in that. Looks like Adam Cole was one car that was involved. You see here the 83 running that K-T.org car. Got the 80 right behind him. Bam, there's the contact. And that's going to start it all. And not too bad. Everybody kind of got out of that pretty unscathed, I'd say.
Yeah, not as bad as we've seen before, but it just kind of shows you with this Langley Speedway, you get a car that gets turned around and the track gets blocked pretty good by just even one car. There's not a lot of room to get around them, and it ends up being a bigger mess than it should be just because of the size of the track.
I think, too, it's mental, TJ. There's actually some room on the track, but it's such a one-groove track that your mind is trained to be there. It's so hard for you to slide that car up to that high side. So, you know, there is quite a bit of room. It's almost like we could cut 2/3 of this track off for what they use to race.
Yeah, the corners are a lot wider than the straightaways. As soon as you come off the corner, it narrows up pretty good. But, you know, you touched on something there that I think is probably correct. Everybody has the mindset that you have to stay as low as possible in the corner, and I think that probably, you know, contributes to some of this.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. It does narrow up on the straightaway. Very interesting configuration here at Langley. Clayman pitted on 24, Royal and Termeyer as well. Colin J. Kennedy on lap 17. You got Mark Hinn on lap 15. That's about it for pit stops. I don't think anybody even took tires, so not a lot to talk about in that regard. But how about Jeff Werderman? My goodness, I mean, Newton's leading. I want to give him his due, but Werderman, the 81, he's shown flashes of brilliance over the years here, and here he is up in second, man. And he's got to be hungry to try and get this thing.
Yeah, I bet he is. And watching his car, he looks pretty solid, and he looks like he's rolling the corners really nicely. So if this thing goes green for a while, I think that could really pay dividends for him.
Absolutely. Newton's got to be loving it, though. We said it last week, he liked these restarts because, the leader, big advantage on restarts. So I think he'd be happy with another 5 cautions here and just keep doing restarts and not give the likes of Werderman or Cole or any of these others a chance.
Yeah, he's picking up where he left off last week with these restarts. He seems to really, really have a knack for him because every time he's controlling the start, he gets an excellent jump.
Yeah, he's really upped his game. He's going to have to continue. Single file restart. Newton down and away. Everybody else obviously in line with the single file start. Someone way up the track. That's Taylor. Way up there. Cole gets under him after several others did. And he just did a great job of not wrecking that thing, but still not ideal. Here comes Austin Miller. He's looking lower than low underneath Pearson. He's all the way 4 tires on the apron. He's going to get by. He's going to try and bring Brian Cole with him.
Yeah, I think he's actually the lowest car I've seen all night because, like you said, he had all 4 tires down on the apron.
He's going to do it again. He liked it so much, he's going to try it again. And we're under yellow again somewhere at the back. Looks like Perry going the wrong way. That's not going to work. And he's going to go a lap down as there's no chance for him to spin that car around currently. And he's desperately would like to, but, and there you go. Not quite. Wrong gear, perhaps, TJ.
I don't think that's what he was intending with that maneuver there, but he got it right.
Done that many times. You know, you try and whip that thing around, but you forget you're not in first gear, so she just won't spin.
Yep. Or the other thing is you have it in first gear and you spin all the way around and you got to do it again.
Let's get a quick look and see what happened here. I believe Andrew Perry in the 33, so it looks like he's got Clammon right in front of him. Perry down low, Clammon, they touch. So slight contact is all it took, and around he goes.
Yeah, and these cars get so light, you know, when you're on the apex, especially that corner or coming off, it's just not, it doesn't take much to shoot the guy around.
So this could be big for Shannon. Currently mired in 20th position, TJ. Now getting the lucky dog, going to be back on the lead lap. What do you think he can do with 20 to go, a field, and probably more cautions? How many spots do you think he could pick up here?
Well, you know, it's not a lot of laps, and if we have, you know, multiple cautions, I don't think that's going to help him.
Well, let me
'cause
put
he
it to you
needs
another
green
way,
flag
TJ.
laps to pass.
I'm a betting man. I'm going to put the over-under at 8. You taking he's going to over? He's going to pass more than 8 cars or less?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we saw how good he was on the first race and how good he is, but that's a tall order. I think he's going to get to about 6 or 7.
All right, so that's the under. But you can see, folks, a difference between a gambling man like myself, TJ, a little more conservative and probably a better person, and he doesn't really want to bet. So, but we're going to put him, you know, he's going to be in that area. He's a great car. But up front, Newton, Werderman, Walker Cole, Lester, and you know, let's talk about Lester for a minute. The 48, the Hellcat machine, been doing a nice job. You know, he inverted, started second, I think. He's held on good up here in 4th position.
Yeah, he really has, and you know, he was doing pretty darn good job of maintaining that second position on the restarts until that one time he spun the tires, and I think maybe that's in the back of his mind now because the last restart or the one before that, I noticed he did not get a good jump at all. So he may have that in the back of his mind about not spinning those tires.
So looks like we're going to stay with single file here, TJ. And there we go. Pace truck off. Newton launches Werderman right behind him. And he gets a nice gap once again. Werderman going to try and run him down. We look back at the back of the pack. We got Termeyer down here along with Kennedy. They're back in 12th and 13th trying to make some hay, and the time is clicking away. Pearson up here doing some battling as well. He's up to 8th. Brian Cole and Austin Miller now working on Wade Burris as they try and get underneath. They're moved up to 5th and 6th already, so everybody's shifting around and making their way up the track. These foul, and Brian Cole underneath Miller backs out of it.
Yeah, that could have been big.
Everything kind of settles down, and nope, we got caution. It looks like Hannah and another one here, along with the 80 machine of Alonzo King.
Yeah, those two, King and Honeyman, have had a rough night tonight.
All right, let's have a look in and see what happened here. Mark Hanna coming in here, looking good. Everything's all right. Comes off the corner. Comes underneath the 01 under. Oh, and in front of him, King's already loose. A little checkup, and he gets a little shot. So really nothing to do with Hanna. Just King breaking loose there, I believe, in front of him and having some issues. And King probably a little frustrated trying to overdrive that machine. And we've seen that early from him in this the first race, TJ.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you know, these short tracks can be so difficult on your mindset. You know, you get knocked around and you get frustrated, and it really throws you off your rhythm.
Andrew Perry getting that lucky dog wave around as Alan Rawal heads to pit road. Up front, not much has changed. Looks like Is that Shannon again? So Shannon getting away around. I'm not sure if maybe this one put him on the lead lap and the last one didn't. I'm not too sure. But anyway, now he's got 10 laps, TJ, and that over-under I'm going to put out about 5 instead of 8 now.
That's why I'm not a gambling man.
That's right. Well, you're a little smarter than I am, TJ. I love the thrill of losing, apparently.
Well, you know, in all honesty, as good as he was in the first race, it really wasn't too much of a gamble to think that he couldn't get more than 8. But it doesn't look like Lady Luck is on his side right here.
No, sir, but it has been on Newton's. Newton made his own luck, finishing last in race 1, got the pole for race 2, and now he has not relinquished it for a single lap. 50 straight laps he's led, 10 to go. Can he hang on?
Well, he's going to need to do exactly what he did last week and just keep on nailing those restarts and getting a little bit of a gap and getting a little bit of a kind of a safety zone and then kind of run his race, and hopefully these laps will click off quick for him.
We got Mason out in the chat. He's on the under. He was already on the under, I believe. We didn't see it. So here we go. Newton's down and away. Everybody in line. Nothing happening up front. Look a little further back. Everything pretty status quo. Back to the lead. Newton walking away.
Yeah, Newton's done just a remarkable job on restarts 2 weeks in a row here. Uh-oh, and the 74 is going around.
Yeah, and that's Colin Kennedy. Adam Cole's involved. Oh, the 01 gets a late little lick in there. And I think that might give me the over there, Mason. I'm not too sure. Apparently you're not a gambling man either, or shouldn't be. I'm just teasing.
It ain't over till it's over, right?
Well, there's that. I like to always talk early. I can still remember one football game way back when I made some phone calls at halftime when the Oilers were winning about 30-0 in a playoff game, and yeah, they lost. Anybody who knows football, that was the famous Frank Reich game with the Buffalo Bills.
Yep, I remember that game.
I'll never forget it because my phone rang for 2 hours, TJ, and I refused to answer it.
I bet you did.
So we're looking at Adam Cole here, right in front of him. Kennedy, looks like that's the 74 there of Ryan Andrews, just getting a little loose. Kennedy underneath him, and it was on from there.
And you know, now we got less than 10 laps to go when that incident happened. You know, everybody's trying to get everything they can.
They definitely are. I mean, patience has gone out the window. I mean, I really don't even blame people. It's just such a tough track, and you got one move, and that's kind of a dive bomb, really. I mean, it's probably not a dive bomb, but it is a dive bomb. It's just Langley. You know, you got to go lower than low, and you got to go in deep and hard, and with 6 to go, 5 to go now, I don't expect anything but another caution at this point.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing is, you know, giving guys a break or cutting some slack or letting off the gas, it's just not going to happen anymore.
We got Adam Cole, went for a little ride down to the inner sanctum of the track, and now he's coming back out, TJ. I think that might have been a little stop at the toilet. I'm not sure.
That, or maybe he got ice cream.
Ice cream. I like it. Sounds good.
You know, after some of the incidents he's been caught up in, I'm sure an ice cream would be good right now.
Yeah, Johnny says Adam must feel like a pinball. Adam Cole, I'm sure you're right. I mean, there's a few of them out there that don't deserve what's happened tonight, and it is a product of Langley, but some guys got to calm down a little bit too, and I feel for some of these clean racers. Here we go. Newton back out here, taking a nice big jump. He loves these restarts, man. He's got such a big lead. I don't know if they can run him down. Second place, Werderman and Walker Cole trying to come in there and steal it away. We're on 3 to go.
Yeah, Werderman's got to worry about that 20 car behind him because he's really fast, but he's just difficult task trying to find a way around.
Miller trying to make a move. We're on 2 to go, coming down to the white flag. Oh, and yellow, gonna bring it out one more time. Looks like King, Perry, a few others involved. And it's rough out there. I think we'll have a green-white checkered here, folks.
Yes, we will. And you know, just before that caution came out, Werdeman was closing up on the 5 car of Newton.
So everybody slowed down nicely, and oh, Shannon just got a little tiny piece of Perry and sent him around. And I'm sorry, what was that, TJ?
I said I noticed just before that caution came out that Werdeman had closed up considerably on the back of the 5 car of Newton.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, what you were noticing too is probably Newton just taking it easy to a degree. Make sure he doesn't do anything stupid. Don't loop the car around. He was on his final lap. I mean, it was over, and just wasn't meant to be yet. He'll have to do it one more time, but you got to like his chances. I mean, Mason, you're a betting man. I mean, you got to be betting on Newton, right? I mean, he can't answer me, but I think everybody's got to be betting on him. We got some people out there rooting on Werdeman and Walker Cole, though. If they do have a shot, they're going to have to do a fantastic job to stay within a couple of car lengths on that restart, and then have 2 fantastic laps to get up there and do anything with Adam Newton.
Yeah, they've got to figure out what he's doing on the restart and be able to stay closer to him, you know, to give themselves a chance. But you know, we've seen this now. This is the 2nd week in a row. The 5 car of Newton, he is really, really nailing the restarts.
Yeah, and when you're in the lead like this, you know, of course you don't like him as a driver, but you kind of love him. You're like, okay. I mean, I'll walk out to another 4 or 5 car length lead on the start, and that's a free 2, 3, 4 lap lead, you know. So he's loving this.
Yeah, because he's able to get such a good jump that he can really run comfortable laps without too much, you know, without worrying about pressure behind him, and that's got to be a good feeling. So, one more to go here.
One more to go. Newton launches. In our chat, Johnny was looking for a double file restart. I think that would have been kind of cool, but nonetheless, we got Newton walking away here. Werdeman trying to close in quickly. 2 to go, coming down to the white flag. Adam Newton does take the white flag. Official race to the end here. Werdeman and Cole pushing for all they're worth. They can't get there yet. A deep dive in by Werdeman. That's going to allow Walker to get there. Not quite. Newton's going to be your race winner. We got a little bit of carnage back here as Brian Cole and others and all kinds of carnage going on. But Adam Newton walks away 2 weeks in a row. He gets at least 1 win here with the Twins. And another great job, the restart master. We might have to come up with a nickname for him relating to that, TJ.
Yeah, for sure, because, you know, 2 weeks in a row, his restarts have been perfect. He's just nailed every single one.
He really has. I mean, and that's what you got to do. And, you know, we talked a lot about the evolution of Newton over the course of his time here. And this is yet another one. Just having that experience of being out front and restarting time and time again, where he has maybe made a mistake a year ago and lost this race. There wasn't even a hint of a mistake tonight.
No, not at all. And, you know, we saw a couple of different drivers earlier in the race on restarts spin tires, and Newton was able to just get a super good launch, never any tire spin at all. And he you know, that's what's won him 2 races in a row, just really, really nailing restarts.
And another key to his victory probably is, I've heard this from so many drivers, folks. Oh, I hate the track, I hate the car, I hate this, I'm not feeling well, I'm not driving well. They always win when they say that, and he was saying that tonight. So in victory lane one more time for the 5. Right now, we'll take a short commercial break, and we'll get our interviews when we return. right, welcome back. The AMP Grading and Demolition LLC Twin 60's. Adam Newton, winner of race number 2. Of course, Chris Shannon, winner of race number 1. He'll take 15th in race 2, and that over under we were talking about, I'm not too sure where that falls. Looks like yet again I probably lost another bet. You know, we'll just file that with the IRS and hope for a tax break, I guess, TJ.
Yeah, what else can you do, right? I mean, just hope for the best and hope you get a little kickback.
Kickbacks are nice. Newton, the victory. Jeff Werderman in second, and Walker Cole. Let's take a look actually at our entire race results here. And it doesn't look like they're coming in. It's probably... There we go. We got them up. I was going to say because of the 2 races, and there's just something going on. But Newton, your winner. Werderman, Cole, Lester, nice job in 4th. Wade Burris with solid in 5th. We didn't call on him a lot tonight. It usually means you had a good, clean race, to be honest with you. And Pearson slides into 6th. Jeff Taylor in 7th. Tyler Lem in 8th, along with David Clamman and Mervyn Termeyer in the top 10. And then it was Kennedy, Andrews, Roel, Cole, Shannon, Perry, Brian Cole, and Austin Miller. I think there's a few more. I think King Jr., Hanna, and Hines at the back of this field. Well, TJ, we had a little bit of everything there this evening, and a lot of cautions, and quite frankly, it's to be expected here at Langley.
Yeah, it really is. With you know, this being a bottom groove is really the only way around, and the best way to pass is to get underneath somebody. You know, in these short, tight turns. Basically, the track is a couple of big turns with some short little straightaways. So you got to expect that at a track like this for sure.
All right, let's go ahead and bring in Mr. Werderman here into the booth. The 81, Jeff Werderman, 2nd place tonight. Probably 1 spot less than you wanted, Jeff, but one heck of a run, man. Congrats.
Yeah, that was quite the interesting night. After the first race, started 7th and then just got caught on the outside, got caught in a couple of fricases and no yellows and fall back. I didn't have a whole lot of hopes. When I saw that I was starting lucky number 7 again, I'm like, well, it didn't work out the first race. So come the second race, though, just was smart and stayed out of the way. I didn't think I really was going to have a car to beat Walker there, but he made a mistake one time just with a car in front of him. That allowed me to get up underneath him. And then with all the yellows, the single files probably kept me up there. And I was doing my best to make him nervous up there, but Adam did a great job and got the win.
Well, I got to tell you, Jeff, you just became my new favorite driver just for saying fricases, even though I can't say it. It was beautiful.
You be careful how you say that.
Oh my goodness, I can't get that one out. But Jeff, you know, we haven't seen you around a whole lot this season. We're really happy to see you here tonight, man, and to have a good run. You know, the track here, we were a little surprised, maybe not on people going low, but getting all 4 tires on the apron. Is that how you got to get around here?
I think a lot of that is trying to protect to make sure nobody gets a run on you. I mean, I had 2 in there, but that was by design coming off of 4 because I was getting on the gas a little bit sooner than the cars in front of me, and so it would tighten up. But if you rolled a couple of tires down there, it kind of loosened the car. You had to counter steer a little bit, but I wouldn't recommend running 4 down there. But sometimes it's just the chaos in front of you. You don't have a choice.
Yeah, well, we did see a couple. I mean, I didn't see you with 4 down there, but some guys, as this race went on, were putting 4 down there, and I thought, we're getting all crazy here. My notes are telling me everybody's pitting, but they're just running real low out there. So, interesting race, tough track. Basically, no straightaways here. It's almost a circle, for God's sakes, and it's taxing. You know, out there to run through these mentally. How do you deal with it, Jeff, when the restarts? Because, man, oh man, restarts on a track like this are so tough. Just to stay off of people is really, really difficult.
Yeah, and when you got new people in there, you're not sure how they're going to run. So that throws a little bit of the degree of difficulty up a little bit, because you don't know how somebody is going to react or how hard they're going to take off at the start. So you just have to be patient and relax. And I during the race, Chris Shannon was talking about strategy that I was using. Basically, I wasn't never full throttle either race. Well, maybe a couple of laps here or there, but I hardly was ever full throttle, especially even rolling the middle of the corner. And I think I was faster than Adam, but every time I'd get on his back bumper, a yellow would come out. It just took me 2 or 3 laps to catch back up to him after the restart. But that's a big part of it. You can't watch the car in front of you. You got to watch 2 or 3 cars in front of you, and you really have to control the throttle. And that had a lot to do with why I wasn't full throttle hardly ever.
Yeah, I mean that's great tips and way to run this track. Getting to full throttle, just not enough time, and you really don't want to be that hard on the throttle. You did everything right here tonight. Come home in second. I think with a green flag run, you might have run them down. Who knows what you could have done with Newton out there? But we got another race next week. Hopefully you can make that. What do you think of North Wilkesboro?
Well, after living there for a month with the racetrack revival and organizing all of that stuff with our XR team, I've actually walked the track, and there was a couple of lines that I was taking, but I never understood why they worked. After walking the track, I get it now. So maybe I'll have a little knowledge here and be a little tougher to and maybe be a bigger threat there come next week.
All right, Jeff. Well, we certainly hope you'll be a threat and you don't get any freckles there out on the track. But TJ, that was Jeff Werder, and man, our second place finisher, doing a real nice job here this evening.
Yeah, he really did. I think he managed his race really well, and I think honestly, if he had a long run, he looked really, really smooth, really, really good through the corners. He may have had something for Newton on a long run.
Yeah, he may have. Who knows? But we're going to find out, TJ, as you track down Adam Newton, our race winner.
Adam Newton, driver of number 5 car in victory lane again. How's that feel, brother?
Hell yeah! Dean, keep picking me. Keep picking me, Dean. Come on.
Excited again. That was really good. And Dean touched on it a little bit. We talked to you a little bit before the race, and you really kind of led us to believe that, you didn't really have a good feel for the track and you didn't think you were going to do well. And then we saw you're the restart master 2 weeks in a row. The restarts have been so key for you to end up in victory lane again. Just amazing job.
Yeah, they were big time. I was right about the first race. I apologize to my pit crew and my team for fixing that race car in the first race, but I got to thank Brian Cole for spinning me out in the first race to give me to the checker flag in the second race.
How did you look at the restarts here versus last week? Was it tougher to nail those restarts this week than last week, with that being a bigger track, or were they pretty similar?
Oh, no, this was completely different. The wheel spin was horrible. Couple times I started in third gear just to, try to keep the car as straight as possible. But, yeah, you had to really baby it. And then by the time you got the car going, you had to slow down to get into turn one. So, yeah, restart was everything tonight.
Well, I got to say, you had a rough go in the first race. So I think you probably just said, I can't really make up much ground, but this is going to give me a good starting spot, for the second race. Is that kind of what your mindset was once you had that big problem in the first race?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There was, once I saw how, that race was going, Chris was flying, then we started to get some green flag laps. And by that time, to even manage to even get a couple points for what it was worth, it was more important to win the second race because you got a drop week than to actually try to do something crazy and hurt you and get you parked in the first race.
In the first race, you were in the back there early on. It had to be a whole lot more difficult and a whole different kind of way to race back there, right?
Oh, it was unimaginable. I mean, in the first race, before we got wrecked, um, the car was doing good. I was just taking my time with Adam Cole, and we had caught the front guys, but passing was really, really hard. These flat tracks, you really can't get no momentum to carry it. And I mean, you have to race the guy clean in front of you to try to get the run on the exit. And it just, with the amount of power these cars have, it just made it really impossible.
Well, I know you are happy, and it's time to celebrate. Congratulations on that win tonight in the second race. Well done, those restarts, man. I just very impressed with your restarts 2 weeks in a row. I'm going to turn it over to you, and you can thank whoever you want, brother.
Yeah, thanks, TJ. I appreciate that. I want to thank Raid, Marvin, all our admins, Mama Junes, Kiker, Lee Pulliam Race Cars. Thank God. Thank y'all in the booth, Wind Tunnel. Thank you, Dean, for picking me again. And, keep Bernie still in your prayers and thoughts. They're dealing with the hurricane right now, and it's going to be making its way up the coast. And, pray for everybody that races with us and their families and stuff. And hope everybody can come back and be, safe and sound for next week.
Amen, brother. All right, TJ. What a night for him, and a week, and he touched on something. Bernie, a friend of ours in the booth, a close friend to Adam Newton's, and we are praying for him. He's down at Cape Coral there, and I'm sure a lot of you know people down in the area, and for everybody down there dealing with that thing, man, oh man, stay safe, and we pray for you, and I hope everything's all right. But here during this race, TJ, where we get a little bit of enjoyment, a little bit of a sidetrack from the real world issues, it was Newton, Werderman, and Walker Cole, and a heck of a race. And how about Walker, the youngster? He's up here, up plus 13 spots on this night, and he's been doing. He's always at the front. He is probably in many ways already surpassed his father, but just got a little hump. Us old men, we got a little bit left in the tank and a little bit of that smarts. And I think when you watch a guy like Walker go up 13 spots, he's starting to get there where he's putting the whole deal together now.
Yeah, if you look at his races tonight, this is a very tough track. We saw that, and even if it's still a very tough track to race. And if you look at him, he finished sixth in the first race and third in the second race. That's pretty good for here. I gotta tip the hat to him. That was a good evening for him.
Absolutely. And we're looking at the championship standings right now. Guy like Fred Lester, second in points. He moves up 5 spots tonight. And, Lester, a guy I definitely got to give his due. And we'll try and focus more on Lester. He's having a whale of a season, man. And it's one of these guys that, when you're a broadcaster, you notice some more than others for whatever reason. And Lester is sneaking up on me, and he's saying, hey, you notice me too, damn it.
Yeah, he had the problem there in the first race along with Newton, and in the second race, he looked strong. He only had that one little slip where he spun the tires on that one restart, but he was solid the entire second race.
Yeah, lots of guys making names for themselves. Lots of guys doing good. Burris down in fifth. Taylor in seventh. Lem in eighth. Clam in ninth. These are all newer guys out here, so having nice runs, having great showings. It's great to see, man, and I hope you guys will come out and support us each and every week on Wednesdays, 9:30. Well, 9:20 now. We get in a little bit earlier now. The Raid Furniture Mart Super Series every Wednesday. They put on a heck of a show, and it's always entertaining. We hope you were entertained tonight. But for myself, Dean Doucette, Mr. TJ Bartail, that's going to wrap it up from Langley, and we'll see you right here next time on Wind Tunnel TV.